the president. Reason and logic is not located on that show whatsoever. And everything is about Trump, Trump, Trumpity, Trump. So I applaud the senator for telling the truth about this. You don't deal with chaos by being chaotic yourself. I mean, it's just common sense, right? Well, don't tell Sunny Hostin that, because here was her response. Take a look.
Why give in now? Why bring a butter knife to a gunfight? Are you willing to gamble that the GOP will negotiate on health care in good faith once the government reopens? Because if that gamble is wrong, 500,000 Pennsylvanians that you represent, their health care costs will skyrocket if you are wrong. And I believe you are wrong.
Well, first of all, MTG is quite literally the last person in America that I'm going to take advice or to get their kinds of my leadership and values from. And now if Democrats are celebrating crazy pants like that, then that's on them. And now I don't need a lecture. I don't need a lecture from whether it's Bernie or the governor in California, because they are representing very deep blue kinds of populations. And a lot of those things were part of the extreme. And now remember, what really needs to win, the big win, is involving my state and other states and those things. And why have we arrived here after the election a year ago? We got to forget some of the things that cost us that election. Or now, for me, it's like, that's why I'm trying to remind people that kinds of the extremism, we can't return to those kind of things and realize we need to find a way forward. And I would like to, rather than cite MTG, I'm going to cite one of the new governor-elects saying that my election is not a green light to continue the shutdown.
Okay, so if you've been watching my show for quite some time, you already know what the answer is here, okay? And that is trying to fight about ACA subsidies when a government has been shut down is ridiculous, okay? It violates all principles. And what I mean by that is if you say you're fighting for your constituents, you care about American families, right? You want American families to be able to thrive in this economy, why would you allow the government to shut down? I'm not understanding that. 42 million people are on SNAP, including WIC. Military personnel need to be paid. Air traffic controllers are not paid, and not to mention all the other federal employees who were not paid. And they missed 2 paychecks, by the way. So just imagine missing 2 paychecks, and then your elected representative is talking about fighting for you, but continues to encourage a government shutdown. That makes no sense whatsoever, okay? And so I'm glad that we had the 8 Democrats who came to their senses. Now here's Laura Trump reacting to Senator John Fetterman and his recent statements and behavior. She says something stunning about him. Take a look.
Do you think he is someone, if he stays a Democrat, Laura, who could pull away some of those working class voters who have gravitated to Donald Trump, President Donald Trump's Republican Party?
Well, I would say John Fetterman has a lot more in common with Donald Trump right now than he does with most in his own party. And like so, he is a bit of a unique individual in that way. What I would advise the Democrats, not that I'm in the place of giving them advice, if you want to win anyone back into your party that has left, you ought to start acting more like John Fetterman. It's common sense. It's what the American people want to see. And it's putting country above party. And we're grateful for that.
Yeah.
Well, there's one thing I do agree with Laura Trump on, is that common sense is very rare, and Fetterman can definitely exercise it. And we need more people like him that are Democrats. I'm not a Democrat. I don't support Democrats. But I don't mind if I'm going to disagree with someone, it'd be someone like Fetterman who's willing to exercise common sense or, at a minimum, agree to disagree. That's what we need more of from our representatives, not this heated rhetoric and them catering to the fringes. All right, let's go to our next story. Speaking of fringes, Antifa was in full